Guys, I've been in real estate investing for over 26 years, and at this point, I've seen it all. And as someone who's now doing deals for the last several years on the island of Puerto Rico, let me tell you where I see the real estate market on the island going. Puerto Rico is a real estate investor's dream, and the housing market is amazingly well set up for a real estate investor who knows what to look for. But there's a lot of pitfalls, and it can be a disaster zone if you don't know what you're doing. Here's why. We've got distressed sellers and distressed properties everywhere, island-wide. Thousands of vacant, decaying homes that no one's wanted or touched in years. We call them zombie houses. There are so many properties with the families that don't agree with what to do with them, or people that just want to walk away, or owners that have left for the States for greener pastures. You've got homes that have title problems, that have tax issues, and they've got a whole bunch of damage and a lot of termites. It gets even better. There's no good MLS, so the sales system, it sucks, and there's a huge arbitrage. There's no standardized comps, although there's a company, Red Atlas, that's trying to fix that problem. Agents, they don't play well with each other, and they don't like to co-broke, and many of them, guys, will literally hide listings just to protect their commissions. And the data, it's an absolute black hole. You need to be driving and digging deep to find anything that's going to help you out. And when you do find a deal, good luck getting the banks to finance it. This is what the locals know and they see every single day. The banking system is broken. It's slow, it's underfunded, and it's outdated. Guys, they don't even have DSCR or HELOCs like they do in the States. And if you want to go private, well, that's another story. There's really no hard money lenders on the island, at least not very many of them. So basically, liquidity is a disaster. And here's the truth. Even if you're a qualified buyer and the house fits in the small box that the banks will lend on, FHA loans and conventional and that kind of stuff, for your own personal use, your own personal house, it could take 3 to 6 months. And guys, sellers hate that shit. They're ready to move on before you ever get your bank loan done. But that's where the opportunity is. This chaos, this inefficiency, this lack of liquidity, this is what makes the market here so profitable if you know how to solve these problems. You don't have to be rich. You just need to understand people. And you got to bring a little organization to the chaos, whether it's capital, construction, negotiation, operations. All of these things are valuable skill sets that will get you far on the island of Puerto Rico. Let's talk about the 3 biggest problems that slow everything down for the real estate in the island of Puerto Rico. Hey guys, let me tell you about my premium community. It's called Apex. We are a group of doers, and we want to invite you, if you want to be a real estate investor, if you're just getting started, or maybe you're ready to scale. Either way, join us in Apex. We've also got some goodies that come along with the membership. You get access to Go High Level, which is an incredible CRM that'll keep you organized, help you to scale. And if you're looking to solve the data problem on the island of Puerto Rico, we've just recently partnered with Red Atlas, and they are solving all kinds of problems when it comes to real estate data for the island of Puerto Rico. When you join us, you get 4 months free of Red Atlas. So join Apex. Let's go back to the video. Number 1, banking liquidity. With only a few banks, in fact, less than a handful of banks on the island of Puerto Rico, they're completely conservative, underfunded, and super slow, which means it's hard to get a mortgage, especially on those houses that we like to look at that need a whole bunch of work. The banks are never going to touch them. So that means that you have to be a cash buyer. This chokes deal flow for locals who don't have access to the funds, and it keeps families that want to be homeowners from actually getting the deals done. Problem number 2, the inheritance laws on this island suck. Puerto Rico's civil code, the inheritance laws, they're ancient. They're left over from colonial Spain. We're talking about over 100 years ago. And guys, because of this system, heirs often don't agree or even know that they've inherited a part of a piece of property here on the island. And guess what? If you don't have clear title, then you're not going to sell the property. It's not going to get fixed up, and it's not going to become a home for some local family that wants to make it such. It's just going to sit there and rot, and there's going to be more of these zombie houses on the market in the days and years to come. Problem number 3, we got no data, or at least we don't have very good data. We don't have a solid MLS system, and the brokers who do have access to the houses that are for sale, they don't play well with each other. So they don't like to co-broke. They don't like to cooperate with each other. In fact, most of these guys will keep pocket listings to themselves to protect their own commissions. If you compare that to the US, the market, you can rely on comps, good data, a solid MLS system so that you can call any real estate agent and make an offer on a house, and you know or you're sure that the offer is going to be sent to the seller. We don't get any of that on this island. There's still no official MLS for the island of Puerto Rico. Only recently did they start to implement using the Stellar MLS and piggyback off of the Florida MLS system. But that's brand new, and it's not widespread yet. And the agents are still not liking to work together. Co-broking, not that big of a thing on the island. What this does is it creates a huge arbitrage. Pricing can be all over the place. I can remember being in an apartment building with one realtor and looking at an apartment on the second floor and asking, is there anything else in the building for sale? And I'm told no. Later on, I look on Clasificados online and I found out there were two other properties that were actually in the same building with different brokers, and they were for sale for vastly different prices. So you might have a property for sale for $200,000 on the fifth floor, one for $100,000 on the second floor, and one for $450,000 on the sixth floor. And they're basically all the same unit. This arbitrage, there's value in that if you know what to do with it as a real estate investor. And I get it. That would be a nightmare situation for most people who are watching this video, but not you guys that want to be real estate investors. If you can get creative and you can solve problems for these sellers, you can make a bunch of money. Let me tell you now where the market is headed. This is exactly what I see coming in the next 6 to 12 months. Those affordable houses, those are the houses that are turnkey, that the bank will lend on, the stuff that people would like to call home, right? They fit into the box that the bank lends in. They can get FHA loans, they can get conventional loans. That's where the liquidity is, and that's where the appreciation is going to be. So these $300,000 and less homes that are already fixed up and ready to go, they're going to keep doing well. They're going to perform well. And in fact, I think we'll see that market continue to go up. Man, the whole time that we've been on the island, whenever we've fixed something up and got it back on the market where someone could go to the bank and borrow against it, those things that fit inside the box that we like to talk about, there's a line a mile long. Homeownership is a big deal on the island of Puerto Rico, and people want to buy a house. They want to raise their family there, and that hasn't changed over the years. So you as the value add real estate investor, when you can buy something at the bottom of the market, fix it up, put it inside the box that the banks like, you're going to have a whole bunch of people that want to call it home. This is what I see, the second thing that I see going on in this market. There's so many distressed properties on the island, and while they have been being eaten up by some local real estate investors, what I'm seeing is that this is a trend that's going to continue. There's a housing shortage on the island, guys. 250,000 houses short of what is needed. But guess what? There's over 300,000 zombie houses on the island. So if those distressed properties can get bought by you, the local real estate investor, and renovated and fixed up, there's a bunch of money to be made. You're fixing problems for the island, and you're providing housing for the people who need it most. Here's the third thing I see because of the banking system. Cash and creative stuff. That's where it's at on the island of Puerto Rico. You're going to see a continued success with anybody who's got the ability to come in and buy something cash, fix it up, and then resell it. Or someone who's going to come in and negotiate with the sellers here on the island, knowing that they can't unlock the liquidity otherwise. You can offer great seller finance deals and put the sellers in the place of the bank and get them to take payments, and that's how you can get yourself a great deal, maybe keep a rental property or two, build some wealth. And once rates drop, expect a rush, again, especially on the stuff inside the box. The fifth thing that I'm seeing on the island, the easy leads, they've already started to dry up. When we first came to the island, there was a gluttony of houses that were bank-owned. So there were lists a mile long of bank-owned properties. And the banks, guys, they're not real estate investors. They don't want to own those houses. In fact, the rules are stacked against them, and they needed to unload those properties. So that was low-hanging fruit 7 years ago. Well, that stuff's dried up. Now you've got to get your hands dirty, and you need to go out and you need to solve problems for families who've inherited properties where you've got 13 people who own a damn thing and 12 of them are living all over the world, and there's one poor guy who's still here on the island that has to take care of that eyesore on the block. He wants the problem solved, and if you can fix that problem, there's a bunch of money to be made in that too. So what do you do now? If you're a local real estate investor and you're able to source these properties and you can go out and find the deal of a lifetime, you can join communities of people that want to be real estate investors together, and you can partner with someone who's got some money. Or if you're someone who's got some money, you can join these communities like we've got, our Apex community, and people will literally bring you the deal of a lifetime to fund it because liquidity's so hard on the island of Puerto Rico. So we're looking for people with money to partner with people who are operators or deal finders. it's a beautiful marriage, guys, and there is a ton of money to be made with the right partner. And when you're out there looking for these deals, don't look for the lipstick flips. Look for the dirty stuff, the nasty stuff, even the stuff that needs to be completely reimagined. You want to buy those zombie houses that have very, very little value, but they've got good bones, and you can reimagine them up to their highest and best use. Sure, a lot of times that's going to just be housing, but it could also be turning a big house into a multifamily for cash flow and getting your rents tax-free for the next 15 years. What's better than that? Or it could be turning something into a small guest house and getting 40% tax credits back through Act 60. There's all kinds of ways to make money for the right person with the right mindset who can solve problems for the sellers of these houses that scatter the island of Puerto Rico. And my God, if you've got some money that you're earning low 1% returns and you've ever thought about being a private lender, Puerto Rico should be your playground, baby. Bring your money because it's needed and you can earn safe, double-digit returns backed by real estate. What's better than that, guys? Come on. The key is figuring out how to solve the problems of the island. So whether you're a deal finder, an operator, or a private lender, solve one of the problems on the island and make the big bucks. Look, I get it. The Puerto Rico real estate market, it's misunderstood. It's disorganized, and it's full of challenges. But you know what? That's where the money is. And if you want to be part of a group that's solving problems on the island of Puerto Rico, creating homeowners, and flipping zombie homes, comment yes below. I'll send you the link to join our free Flip Flop Flipper community. In our community, guys, we're connecting buyers, funders, visionaries, and operators all together in one place to form great partnerships to clean up some of these zombie houses and make some money and have some fun along the way. Let's do some good together, guys. Hey, leave a comment. Where do you think the Puerto Rico housing market is headed?